Hey everyone! Today we're going to tackle a super important math concept that'll honestly save you so much time in your exams. It's a total game changer, trust me. Let's just jump right in.
So let's kick things off with this powerful thought. Equation solve करने से पहले roots का nature जान लो. I mean, think about it. What if you could know exactly what kind of answer you're going to get before you even start solving the equation? How cool would that be? It's like having a math superpower, right?
All right, so what is this big secret? Well, to uncover it, we have to look at a formula that, we all know it, maybe not love it, but we know it. Let's take a look at the quadratic formula.
And there it is, our old friend. We've all used this beast to find the value of x. But listen, the real magic, the secret sauce we're talking about today, it's hidden right there, inside that square root.
Yep, this part right here. b squared minus 4ac. This is our hero for today. It has a special name, the discriminant. We just call it d for short. And this one little expression, man, it has the power to tell us everything we need to know about the roots.
Okay, so how does this discriminant actually use its superpowers? Well, it's pretty cool. There are basically three magic cases, three possibilities that tell us exactly what kind of answer we're going to get. And hey, pay close attention to the graphs we're about to see. They make it super clear.
First up, case number 1. What happens if our discriminant, d, is greater than 0? So, a positive number. Simple. We're going to get two different real roots. And if you look at the graph, you can see exactly what that means. The curve cuts the x-axis in two separate places. Easy.
Okay, on to case 2. Now what if d is exactly 0? Well, in this situation, we get two equal real roots. Yep, basically the same number twice. And the graph shows it perfectly. The curve just comes down and kisses the x-axis at one single point.
And last but not least, case 3. If d is less than 0, a negative number, then there are no real roots. Simple as that. We get what are called imaginary roots. And the graph makes this crystal clear, right? The curve is just floating around either completely above or completely below the x-axis. It never touches it at all.
So this table right here, it's basically the whole thing in a nutshell. It summarizes everything we just talked about. I'd seriously recommend you pause here and take a screenshot. This is your cheat sheet. Understanding these three cases is everything. And hey, to make it even easier, here's a super simple memory trick. Just think, plus means two roots, 0 means one root, and minus means no roots. That's it. Just lock that in your brain.
Okay, theory's all good, but let's see how this superpower actually works in the real world. How it saves us a ton of time on actual exam questions.
All right, let's take a look at this first example. 2x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So what's the first step? Always. You got to identify your a, b, and c. So in this case, a is 2, b is minus 4, and c is 3. Got it?
Okay, now we just take those numbers and plug them straight into our discriminant formula. d equals b squared minus 4ac. Now be really careful with the signs here. So we get negative 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3. That works out to 16 minus 24.
And what does that give us? Negative 8. Okay, so stop and think for a second. We got a negative number. What does a negative discriminant mean? Which case is this? You got it. Since d is less than 0, this equation has no real roots. And just look at that. In like 3 simple steps, without doing any of that long formula stuff, we already know there's no real answer. That's a massive amount of time you just saved in an exam.
Okay, let's try a real-life problem now. So the question is it even possible to place a pole based on certain conditions? And those conditions give us this equation, x squared plus 7x minus 60 equals 0. Now, before we go trying to find where to put the pole, let's first figure out if a spot even exists. So, time to call in our hero, the discriminant.
So for this equation, a is 1, b is 7, and c is a minus 60. So we calculate d, we get 7 squared, minus 4 times 1 times minus 60, and that gives us 49 plus 240, which equals 289. And yeah, 289 is definitely a positive number.
And what does a positive d mean? It means, yes, there are two real roots. So it is possible to place that pole, see? This is a perfect example of how the discriminant can tell you if a real-world problem even has a solution before you do all the hard work. The problem is solvable.
So, just to recap, why is this so important?
Why is this your new math superpower? Well, number 1, it tells you the answer type before you even start solving. Number 2, it saves you so much time in exams. And number 3, it helps you check if a real-world problem even has a solution. You should always do this first.
Okay, now you gotta be careful. There are some common mistakes people make. The biggest one is getting the signs wrong, especially in that -4ac part. And also, don't forget to square b properly, especially if it's a negative number. One tiny mistake here and your whole answer can go wrong.
So here are my top pro tips for your exams. Listen up. First, always calculate the discriminant first. It should be automatic. Second, clearly write down what the nature of the roots is. And third, only solve the full equation if you know real roots exist and, if the question actually asks you for the values.
Just remember this one golden line, this mantra, if you will. The discriminant tells everything. Seriously, it's the key that unlocks the entire question right from the start.
And really, that's the main takeaway today. Bas nikal lo, question half solve ho gaya. If you just find D, you're already halfway there. I really hope this explainer helps you guys totally master this concept and ace your exams. Thanks for tuning in.